MGK, he dropped his new album, Lost Americana. This is the record we were chatting about last week where we said I'll take the blame. I physically couldn't listen to it in time for the podcast. Just too much going on in my personal life. So we covered the rollout, hence why we're chatting about the record that came out 2 weeks ago this week. With that being said, I'll let Glory take it away.
I've been marinating on this record for a week. I didn't re-listen to it. One and done was enough for me. 47 minutes of my time. You could take it, Mr. Kelly. Um, this record, I'm gonna start off by saying I liked the singles. I still stand by what I said when we were reviewing the singles, where we're like, oh shit, this might be where he thrives, kind of more in the pop area. Um, it worked. I liked it, and those were the standout tracks on the record for me. Everything in between those singles sucked fucking ass. I'm sorry. Okay. He was doing like I don't know how it's possible, but he was doing so much yet giving like the bare minimum. Maybe it's his tone that just pisses me off. It's like he can't hit a fucking note. He's singing on this entire record. So it's like it's just like very monotone
Mm-hmm.
and it gets very grating. And as I said, it's like almost an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
How long is it? 45 minutes, 22 seconds of insert MGK singing. I liked Cliche a lot. And that was a single. It's the second one on the record. So it's like he started it off, and I was like, you know what? Because I like the opener too, Outlaw Overture.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck, man, this might be a good record. I'm ashamed to say it. Maybe this might make this is 2 songs in, by the way. If I'm saying this shit 2 songs in, there's a good chance it's gonna go fucking belly up in the next 4 songs, right? So I'm 2 songs in. I'm like, fuck, this might be on like my album of the year list because this is already good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Wait, Run Fast, goddamn, Vampire Di just like there's just a run from Cliche down that just it's just gut hit after gut hit, and not in an emotional way, in like a wow, I need to leave. I'm being hurt right now, but instead of like me physically being hurt, it's like my ears.
Mm-hmm.
Because it fucking sucked. I don't know how else to say it. I hated it. I hated it. Okay? And it's not in a I'm fighting against it because it's Machine Gun Kelly and I want to be fucking, real scene and protect music and he's not even fucking alternative anymore. This is a pop record, so it's like he's not even trying to fucking appropriate the scene and do that shit. This is just him doing pop now. So I don't have to front for that. I don't think I ever fronted for that because he sucked ass at that too. Maybe he should try fashion. Maybe he just needs to try other avenues of creation. I'm sorry. Okay, Vampire Diaries sucked. The last like 3 tracks, it was Can't Stay Here, Treading Water, and Orpheus, I think were absolutely horrible. I remember I commented on one specifically. Orpheus was awful. Treading Water was the one that I couldn't. I obviously finished it, but I did not want to. He starts rapping out of nowhere. I don't know why he decided to do that. He wasn't good at it before. And then, he tried to kind of mix it in with his little alternative moment. He sucked at that too. Does he think that if he packages like if you like put like whipped cream and sprinkles on like a spoonful of shit, it's still gonna be a spoonful of shit. There's no way you could package your fucking ass rapping, okay? Stop it. Just give it up, So Treading Water was my absolute least favorite track. It's like he's trying to be serious, and it's like you could tell he's trying to show on this record, especially because he changed his name to MGK now. He's not Machine Gun Kelly because remember he stepped away from rapping. This is his more professional name, which is such fucking bullshit. It's all theatrics. It's all Oh, don't get me into that. Okay, so anyways, I didn't like it. I
Clearly.
thought the record like can you tell?
No, I have no idea.
I thought the record was, as I said, it's so basic, but it's also like he is trying to still make his own space in something that has been done so many times. And unlike like alternative music where it's very welcoming and it's like you could still have your own like zing with it, like Bloody Valentine. I fucked with that track. I still have it in my playlist because I think it's a fun song. There's nothing on here except for Cliche. He did that one right. That really makes him stand out. And even in Cliche, I couldn't tell you what it sounds like. I just remember I really liked that track the like 4 times I listened to it. Sorry. I'll just say the record didn't go anywhere. The tracks that really stood out that were most memorable to me were only memorable because I felt so strongly about them in a negative way.
Mhm.
Um, Again, fuck Orpheus and fuck Treading Water. Awful way to end the record. It's funny, the first 2 tracks are my favorite and the last 2 tracks are my least favorite. Everything else in between can, I don't know, get removed off the internet. I hated it. That's it. How did you feel about it?
How did I feel about it? Well, I appreciate your insight, Glory.
How long was
I'm very
that?
glad we stuck through with this because you're so passionate about it.
Dude, I told you. I was like, I can't believe I fucking listen to this and you're not listening to it. So yeah. Okay.
Well, you know, what I'll give him is this is absolutely a step up from the absolute abomination that was Mainstream Sellout. That record makes me shudder just the way it made you shudder. That record makes me shudder. I don't think there's a single redeeming quality on that album, and is truly a nosedive from what I thought was truly not a great record but a decent album with Tickets to My Downfall. I do somewhat enjoy that record. You know, and the deluxe tracks on that album kind of added to my enjoyment of that album. But his second attempt at, you know, the alternative space in Mainstream Sellout was not great. And, you know, we're on to a new genre here with just kind of straight up a pop album, like Glory said. I don't have this immense hatred for it, mainly because I'm comparing it to Mainstream Sellout, which I do have an immense hatred for. I think the album's fun sonically to listen to. It's not, you know, trying to be this overbearing listen where you really have to lock in on it and know what's going on. And yes, I know
I don't think MGK's ever been that, to be completely fair.
No, that he hasn't. And I know that there's some serious moments on the record due to, you know, the rebranding, and he always has a couple of songs on the record that you know, truly you can tell are serious and are in you know, undertoned and metaphors and things like that. So that's one thing I can always respect about MGK, is he does wear his heart on his sleeve, and it's very much there when he's trying to be serious and pull the curtain down and not do the artistic bullshit. He puts it out there for the world to see, which is one thing I can respect about him, even if he's not my favorite artist. So I don't want to shit on those moments on the record, although they're not my favorite. That's for goddamn sure. Yeah, I just think it's a fun listen for the most part. Is it something I'm going to come back to? Hell no. Was most of it memorable? Absolutely not. But it's like, I think what he was going for is just like you know, which is why I keep saying cliches like should have been the soundtrack to the summer. Like, that's kind of what this record I think is going for, is just kind of being a soundtrack, an upbeat, at least sounding, you know, like I said, there are some moments on this record that are absolutely not that lyrically, but for the most part, just an upbeat sounding record that could be the soundtrack to your summer. Granted, came out in August, so it's a bit late for that, but that's kind of the vibe I got from it. So I didn't come away with it like with this immense hatred, because I really wasn't going into it like really looking to really analyze it, because if I sat down and really analyzed MGK's music, I'm coming up with nothing of note.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all out there.
Yeah, just being honest, he's not really a fan for the most part. Like I said, Tickets to My Downfall is that rare occurrence where I do think he cooked with that, and Glory can keep making faces and disagree. I really did like that record. But yeah, this one just fun. Not, like I said, not a ton of redeeming qualities. Not like I'm not coming away with it being like I have a dozen favorites off the record. record. I think Cliche is incredible. Honestly, I think that that's one of his strongest songs in a minute.
Dude, in general, it's like Bloody Valentine, Cliche, and then everything else can.
Yeah, like
maybe
that.
like the intro to fucking the Diablo Hotel Diablo, because it's Pete Davidson being silly. Like that's it. That's his top 3 songs. You know.
Yeah, like that song is incredibly strong. But there were some songs on this record like Goddamn and Starman that I thought were truly incredibly awful. Like the high points on this record were very high, and the low points were very, very low on this record. I do think that this album would be better if the fat was condensed a little bit, because there are some truly awful songs on here that if those were trimmed off, the overarching idea of this album could have just been It's Okay versus It's Okay, but it's got 15 or 20 minutes worth of really bad music on it. And that's where I'll leave it. Like I said, Cliche absolutely blows me away. I thought the opener, like Glory said, really sets the tone, albeit a little long, really sets the tone, and kind of also touches on all of the different sonics that he attempts on the record. Keyword is attempts. Not everything is a hell yeah.
Do that one again.
But it does kind of touch on everything that you're going to get from the record, which I appreciate, like a taster palette track for an opener. I like that when any artist does that, honestly. And then Cliche to be that 1-2 punch there. Again, I cannot stop talking about that song.
No, and I'm right there with you. It's a catchy. Again, I couldn't tell you really what it sounds like.
But if you hear it, you're like,
I'm like, oh
bumps.
fuck, this is such a good song. It's because it just makes you want to dance, man. He crushed with that one.
Yeah.
Do that again.
Yeah. I didn't want a record of Cliches, but the songwriting that is on Cliche I would have appreciated a little bit more. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't have this visceral hatred for it because like the bar was in hell coming off the back of the last record. And it's really just a fun listen that I think he did kind of he brought the bar back to like the floor, because it was, like I said, it was in hell with Mainstream Sellout, and we're just kind of like,
maybe like the roof of the nether. That's where it is now,
It was a fun middle of the road pop record for me, honestly. Some fun moments, some absolutely abysmal moments. I feel like that's, at least on my side, what I normally come away with when we cover pop records is like, yeah, these moments are great, these moments are absolutely abysmal, and the rest of it was just kind of whatever.
That's life sometimes,
that's just the way the cookie
like
crumbles.
An MGK record, the highs are really high and the lows are really low, and there's a lot of midpoints. A lot of